Hi there, I'm Ben, and welcome to part 13 of my full platinum walkthrough for Dark Souls 3. Speaking of souls, can you see my bottom right hand corner? I have over 1 million. Yes, I've done lots of farming in between. I said I was going to. That's how much I did. So, I'm going to show you what I actually got from doing that much farming. It's actually the Silver Knights I did mostly. I got 5 human dregs, and that's and then 6 proof of Concord kept. Oh, God help me. That's how rare the proofs are. That was mostly what I was doing, is trying to do proofs. One thing I did actually, I'm going to mention, is the Eagle Kite Shield we got very early on in the game. I turned that to hollow using the hollow gem, because hollowing, if you're hollow and you're holding a hollow item, which we are because we've been going for the sort of naughty ending, whatever you want to call it. We are hollow, we've got all the dark sigils and everything, so we are quite hollow. The more you die, the hollower you get and everything. It increases item discovery a bit, so it's not much. It's really not much, but it can help if you want to use a shield on these stairs with on Orlando rather than Crystal Sage's rapier. Then do that, because yeah, they're going to hit you quite hard, the Silver Knights, if you're not careful. Right, I'm just going to do the usual. I'm going to sell all the Silver Knight shield and armor and all the stuff, the Deacon robes and everything that I got. Yeah, it's going to take quite a while for that farming for you to finish it. There's no easy way around it. I'm sorry, there just isn't. One thing you can try and do, if you are like, this guide is supposed to be offline, but one thing you can do while it's still online is that you can equip the Blue Sentinel Covenant item. So where we've got that Sunlight one at the moment, if you go to equip the Blue Sentinel one, you may be brought into another person's world to help protect them until they get to the boss. You don't get to fight the boss with them, but you protect them from invaders, basically. And if you do that, then you get a proof that way. It's quite rare for that to happen, to be honest, but try it. It can happen while you're farming. Put it on and see if you get brought into another person's world. One thing I also put up, I just put 1 point in while I was off farming. I put 1 point into luck just to kind of see. It doesn't really, like, item discovery will go up by 1, so I wouldn't put into luck really. No, don't. So with all the souls that I got, I'm going to put Dex up to 40, I'm going to put Endurance up to 40, and then Vigor. I'm going to go up to Vigor, just keep going up a bit more in that. No, Vitality I don't need anymore, because I am going to be picking up a new armor set, but it's kind of the same weight, if not a bit lighter. So Vigor up to 26. Now that's one good thing about the farming you'll be doing. It's going to get progressively easier as you go. Obviously you're getting souls, you're going to be leveling up, you're going to do more damage, you can take more damage, it's going to get easier and quicker and things like that. So unfortunately, yeah, you just have to keep going for it. They are that rare. I forgot how rare they are, to be honest. I thought it was more common than that. But I've got my item discovery to over 300 as I'm doing it. Between 300 and 400 seems to be the sweet spot, so to speak. So if you've got the Crystal Sage's rapier with you as well, you'll be up to sort of 360 plus, which is fine. It should be, I don't know, 1 in sort of 30 or something, I reckon. It's that rare. It honestly is that rare. That's how long it's going to take, unfortunately. So speak to Hawkwood there, exhaust his dialogue. We'll get the Farron Ring off him. We forgot to get that a while back, but he doesn't go anywhere, so it's fine. And then we're going to do the first of 3 boss fights in this video. That's right, we're doing 3. We're going to be doing 2 areas. We're going to be doing the Consumed King's Garden, which is literally just a garden. We'll walk through it and get a boss fight. And then we'll do Untended Graves. So yeah, we're combining them in this one because they're nice and quick together. So we're doing the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. There are no summons for this fight, so if there are any humans around, any real people on the ground, then bring them in if you want them, obviously for the Sunlight medals. This was the fight that I've always had the most trouble with in the past. I think I've kind of got it down now. It's a DPS fight. You need to go in and you need to hit hard. So we're going to go back to where Emma was. I'm going to turn human just for the extra health. See if anyone's around. Not that I would actually use them anyway at this point. Yeah, Chris is here. I think he was here last time, wasn't he? Chris? Was it Chris? I'm sure it was. Anyway, what you want is the human pine resin. You should have some. If you don't have any, you can go and buy some from Patches. I have that equipped ready now. Obviously, I'm going to be using the Carthus Beacon as well. I've got the sword, the old Wolf Curve sword. I'm going to try and do as much damage as quickly as possible. Being defensive in this fight just doesn't work. The reach is so far. I mean, it can work, but the reach is so far, especially in the second stage where she's using 2 swords, it's just not feasible. So walk towards the statue here, and then the dancer's going to appear behind you and shut the door, and we're off. So it's actually quite a beautiful fight. It really is. The music, the movement, and that's the problem. The movement is so... You can see there that swipe was so unreadable. When she digs into the floor like that, there will be sort of a fire attack that will happen. But you want to be going in, double-handing L1. You can see how quickly the damage is stacking up there. When she goes into the second phase, which she has done, it's about half health. She'll do a spinning attack, run for one of the corners and hide behind the pillar. She won't be able to get you if you hide directly behind the pillar, not sneak around the corner like that. And that's how much damage she can do so quickly, and it's so, like I said, unreadable. It's just so erratic, the fighting. So if you stand back and try and be defensive, you're just going to keep getting hit. You need to try and find that window, get in underneath her, and start L1ing. So you're going to see the double swipes, get underneath. If you can take a little bit of damage just to push some more through, it's worth it as well. Obviously back away and don't get caught in her flurry of attacks if that's the thing that's going to happen. But just try and get in underneath and do as much damage as quickly as possible. So I will use the human pine resin then as well right at the start. That's dark damage. She is weak to that. And yeah, if you're going to think you're going to struggle, make a save at the door just in case, so you can keep going back. It's going to take some getting used to the movement, but being defensive, I was always defensive. That was the problem. I always stood back and I was defensive, and I thought, this is not working. Shield, I had shield up and it was not working, and you get hit in the shield when you're fighting her, and all your stamina goes, and it just doesn't work. Honestly, it doesn't. You need to get in underneath, get the hits in, get out, get in, kind of thing, and yeah, hopefully it works out best. But that is what the one I struggle with the most, and you see how quickly I did it then. I did take a bit of damage, got knocked back into the corner, which you can be avoided. I have done cleaner fights for sure. Yeah, and that's it. So I went back there, did a quick upgrade to use the souls, and then if you go and place the base in now, we'll open up the path to the final kind of area of the game, which is Lothric Castle, leading to the archives. But we're going to go and do a couple of side areas first. We do have this side area, or the 2 side areas, this video basically side areas. That's Lothric Castle dead ahead. That's where we're going to be doing the Sunlight Medal farming offline. I will probably be doing most of mine online because it's much quicker. We'll see. Well, I'll obviously tell you in the next video where to do it offline. Yeah, we've got this side area combined with Untended Graves, and then we have the main areas, Lothric Castle and the Archives, Grand Archives. No, Grand Archives, Duke's Archives was Dark Souls 1. And then we have Archdragon Peak, and that's pretty much it. So lots of farming needs to be done. Not many videos left on playthrough 1. So I will be trying to do as much as possible. This place has lots of toxic. It's quite small, and the toxic can be avoided entirely if you want to. But have some blooming purple moss ready if you need it. And then yeah, these Lothric Knights can be a bit of a pain, but if you get behind them, once you get behind them, and you can, as they're standing up, you can hit them. So L1 to do most damage, obviously. And then we're going to be taking the lift down into the graves, kind of. We're going to be jumping off halfway-ish down, well, near the bottom. Just look over the side, look for the floor coming towards you, and drop onto it. I'm going to go and get another Estus Shard, which is here. Just one left now, I think, Estus Shard. And get 15 uses max. Now, you saw me buy some arrows right at the start. You should have some spare anyway. You don't need to fight these with arrows, but these Puss of Man things, we have fought them before. They can be a bit of a pain. Now, if you want to, you can stand up here and hit them with arrows. I'll do it with this first one just to show you. You'll get its attention, obviously, and it'll come towards you like that, and it will hide underneath. It can't get you. but it can be a bit of a pain waiting for it to come back out. It does come back out, and then you can just keep rinse and repeat, and that's how I killed this first one. It's not necessary to do this. We can kill them quite easily if you're confident enough to get underneath them, but if you're not and you stand back, they can make quite short work of you. So if you're confident with them, like most enemies, then they can be taken care of. But if you don't feel confident enough, then try and get their attention and kill them from up here. You can reach, there is 3 in total, you can reach them if you're a good shot, which I obviously am not, from here. But we're just going to go down and take them on. So yeah, grab the Estus Shard and then drop down onto here, and you're going to get a Titanite Chunk. The chunks are going to be coming thick and fast. Yeah, we'll be getting more than enough to fully upgrade the weapon soon. This was the drop from the Pulse of Man. This is where the lift actually takes you all the way down to the bottom. I'm just going to run under here and check if there are any items. There is in New Game Plus. We're not going to come here in there's some places we're going to avoid in New Game Plus, but we will come here in New Game Plus Plus. There is going to be a ring added to the game in New Game Plus, but we're not going to do it in New Game Plus. We're going to come back in New Game Plus Plus. Basically, every cycle, certain rings get added, but they're still there in the cycle afterwards as well. So you don't need to get them all in New Game Plus, but we will get the majority and just avoid the side areas and clean up in the final playthrough, if that makes sense. Hopefully it did. There was lots of pluses. Yeah, Lothric Knight, quite easy. Just get behind them and watch out for their big attacks, and when they do that, that's just the biggest opening they can give you, really. Cathedral Knight, not Lothric. Lothric Knights are the other ones, aren't they? They're the red ones that we're going to be fighting a lot of and farming sunlight medals for, of course. They're Cathedral Knights. So I'm just going to head round this way. You can avoid the Pulse of Mans. There are 3 of them. We've killed 1. You can see them there. You can avoid them. Watch out for the random enemies as well. But if you want to, you can double hand, get underneath them, and just go for it. Honestly, just go for it. Try and get the damage in as quickly as possible. So they can be dealt with, but they also can be very intimidating. Dark gem under here, so this, you can see where it's all grey here, or grey blue. That's the stuff that's toxic, so I will actually suicide run into there, get those items and get toxic. But this is it, this is the area we're in, this is it. We walked slightly to the left over those stairs and we're at the boss. So it's very, very small, that's why I've combined them. Titanite Chunk here. We're going to be opening up a shortcut, like you need one for this area. We're going to be opening up a shortcut as well, so I'm going to get toxic and run back to the bonfire to cure it, as opposed to using the blooming. You should be able to, if you've got a big chunk of health like I have now, the game almost becomes easier. Obviously you can take more damage, but you feel you have more confidence. You know, you're not holding back because you've got a little health bar, and you'll probably find you get better at the game as well. Reading bosses, because you're actually in there, rather than being defensive, you're almost taking like a Bloodborne kind of stance and going in because you know you can take more damage. It definitely helps with the farming as well, because you can just run in. If you die, you die. Obviously, you just go and get your souls and carry on. It makes the process quicker. So under here, there isn't actually that much here. There's an armor set, claw, shadow gear. Sure, I thought I'd show you while we were here. Around here, there's a couple important things actually. Human pine resin, which we will need for New Game Plus and Plus Plus, because we got to do the dancer 2 more times. Unfortunately, spotted this off in the distance. That is not a Titanite Chunk. Is not. That's a random drop from one of those slugs, a dark gem. And just over here is the boss. You can see our summon sign there. That was Hawkwood. That's why we fully exhausted his dialogue at this point, because we want Hawkwood to help us with the boss. Well, potentially he can come in and help, but I find he might actually be a hindrance more than anything. It's one of those rare occasions where you want the focus of the boss on you, rather than an NPC. Otherwise, you're just chasing the boss around the arena because it's just so quick. You want it on top of you, really. So it's up to you whether you bring Hawkwood in. I do, and you can see how I'm running around at the second half. So this is the shortcut we're doing. We've got those guys here, thralls. Like, they're not even a problem anymore. Remember how much of a problem they used to be. You can just take a full hit from them and you're not even going to be bothered by it. So yeah, souls wise, farming, just put them into whatever you want at this point. We will be obviously buying some more miracles and things later on, but that's after Lothric Castle. We will obviously have one more scroll. That's after Grand Archives. So that at that point we'll need a few souls to buy spells and miracles and things. But right now, just level up, make yourself stronger, tankier. Stop at endurance at 40. No point going past that. You don't get any more stamina. Health, probably stop at about 40. You don't need to go much higher than that. And yeah, wherever you want to put them. Because yeah, you're not restricted to build on this one. Honestly, just do whatever you like. Even if you want to, start putting into intelligence and faith and what have you. Mess around with miracles and sorceries if you want. You can do that. Just branch out. But if you want to stay focused into decks, obviously you can do that as well. But it's diminishing returns after sort of 40. But you can keep going past 40, 50, 60. I'd definitely stop around 60 though. I don't see much point in going any further. So I'm just reinforcing the Estus there, leveling up the weapon because we do have enough chunks. So just one more level, up to 9 with chunks, and then we already have a Titanite slab, which means we can go straight up to 10 afterwards. So we're just collecting chunks at this point. Bit of level there. And now we'll go and do the boss, who is a name that I probably can't say properly. Oceiros, you'll see it later. The Consumed King, let's just call him that, it's easier. Fairly straightforward fight, to be honest. He can seem very aggressive, but it's not too bad. Again, it's a case of staying underneath him was the best place to be. There is a Titanite Scale under here. You may think I missed this before, but we were coming back the whole time. And then we're going to get the Dragonscale Ring, which is in the lift. So we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did in the previous lift. We're going to drop off halfway down and get the Dragonscale Ring and actually kill an enemy that can be quite annoying as well. So look out for the ledge. You'll see it come to, when you see that opening as well, that's kind of, you know where you're going to go, because that's where we're going. Back into the Consumed King's Garden. Run down, you get the Dragonscale Ring. The Dragonscale Ring is kind of pointless for us unless you do PvP, I suppose. It reduces backstab damage by 30. Okay. It's not really a problem we have. So kill that enemy and then shoot this one to get his attention. Now that was a hell of a shot. You're going to see why in a moment. I wasn't trying to go for it. I was just trying to hit him, get his attention to get him over here, and then drop down, get a bit of damage on him. There is another one stood in the doorway just in front of us. We don't want two of these at the same time. That's why I've got his attention. Backstab, finish him off with L1s. You can see why that's such a good shot. It's right through his visor. Straight in the head. A lucky drop there as well, Titanite Chunk. Now the reason you can actually run straight past these and to the boss, but we want to kill them both because this second one will drop the magic Stoneplate ring, and obviously we need that. So fishing for backstabs again. They could do with the Dragonscale Ring, really, couldn't they? There we go, magic Stoneplate, so you'll automatically pick it up. And then we're going to go and get Hawkwood. So his summon will be down here. If you've exhausted his dialogue, he'll be down here. And yeah, he's okay. Like I said, you probably want the focus of the boss on you as opposed to him. So I'm going to switch to boss mode, so that means the old curved sword. The boss himself is weak to lightning. Lightning, yes, lightning. Gold pine resin is lightning if you want to put that on your weapon. It's sold by the Shrine Maiden if you want to do that for the extra damage. Obviously go for that. And walk down, just wait for Hawkwood to catch you up. Again, not 100% with Hawkwood. Obviously, you're going to increase the health of the boss, and it takes away the focus. Usually you want the focus taken away from you, but weirdly it's one of those bosses where you don't, because you just end up chasing him around. So, yeah, how are we saying that? Oceiros? I don't know. Him, the Consumed King, with his invisible baby, his dragon baby. So I'm going to put the Karthus beacon on, try and get as much damage in early on. Get that buff up. So the slam is good. You want to be underneath him and trying to take damage, because he does lots of swipe attacks and spin attacks and things like that. So staying underneath him is actually good, especially when he gets on all fours shortly. So just keep getting underneath, trying to get that attack. Obviously, one downside of me using the sword as well is that my shield is gone, so stamina regen is a bit slower. So you can see I'm kind of stuck here with no stamina, but lots of damage. And once he goes into this second mode, he'll kind of give up on the baby and start dashing around all over the place. Now, you want that he's going to keep going for Hawkwood and things like that. Like he was going for Hawkwood with that attack, and I rolled up round underneath it. We actually want him to sort of get stuck in a corner. That's what you want from this boss. Just stay underneath him in a corner when he's on all fours, because you just do a load of damage to him. Like this is what you want. But because Hawkwood's around, he's off again, trying to find him. So the extra distraction is not actually a good thing here. Yeah, if you can get him stuck in a corner, you'll take care of him pretty damn quickly. He does have a tendency to get stuck as well. I just not seem to be doing much damage there, was I? Now let's go. Right. I don't know. I just was not doing any damage there for a moment. But yeah, you don't want the separation really. There he goes. He's dead. Don't worry. You want to be underneath, because the problem is when he's charging at you, when he's doing that crystal attack and things like that. So be underneath him. Be close to him. And now we'll switch back to general mode, which is the shield, and move on to Untended Graves. So that's how quick the Consumed King Garden is. It's quite quick. And off we go. So this is a hidden area. It's not just a side area, it's a hidden area. And you'll actually get a trophy for dropping into it as well. So there's going to be a new enemy type. These are the enemies of Archdragon Peak. These ones can be quite annoying, especially the bigger one. The one with the, oh my god, the one with the extendable axe thing. If you've played this and you know who I'm talking about, or you will in the future, that's for sure. What were they thinking? Right, the Path of the Dragon, that's a gesture we need, obviously. And it's also a gesture that we need to actually get to Archdragon Peak. You can't get there without that gesture. So, we'll use that later. There was an Irithel dungeon, you may remember, there was a weird dragon kind of sat on a cliff, a little dragon person type thing, sat in that gesture, that posture. And that's how you get there. We'll go and do that later. That'll be the last place we go to. Yeah, so hit the invisible wall, the illusionary wall, and drop down and you'll get the trophy, and you'll be in Untended Graves. You will recognise this place when we come back here in a moment. I'm just going to go back to Firelink. And what am I doing? Levelling up, I think, at this point, just to get rid of some levels. Yeah, 100,000, so yeah. Again, at this point, I'm already feeling at this point, like, where do I put my points? I don't know. I'm okay, I'm comfortable. So, do we go with Vigour? I think we do on this one. Again, stop at 40. Not much point going further. Like, your health bar would be massive. Yeah, check if I have enough. I don't think I do at this point. How many do I have? No, not enough. We'll be getting more, don't worry. Plenty of chunks to come. They obviously keep them for the end of the game. So back to Untended Graves. So just cash in the souls. There is quite a difficult boss coming up. So that was the second one, obviously. Got the third boss coming up, who is probably the most difficult out of the three. But again, we will have a distraction with us. Yeah, so basically Untended Graves is the start of the game, but dark. Yeah, with different enemies. So up here, you do need to come up here. So quickly take care of them. L1. Yeah, you know these. We've fought these before. And then grab the item, which is the Ashen Estus Ring. So yeah, this is the very start of the game. You'll notice in a minute as we walk forward, there's the well, or the kind of cup chalice thing from the middle. And yeah, you break off to the sides. The crystal lizard is there, and it has a friend. So that big one that we got to roll off the cliff at the start, that's there as well. So take it easy here. There's a bunch of dogs, and there are some of those grave wardens as well. A couple of grave wardens. There's one. Again, you can just kind of push through the damage that they give you at this point, because the health bar is massive now. So there is one more grave warden. There they are. And this is kind of my farming style as well. Just push through with the damage, especially with the ones in the catacombs of Carthus, which I will start doing after this video. Again, as much as I can in between doing these videos. Obviously, if you're watching this once the guide is complete, it will make no sense to you, and you don't need to worry about catching up or what have you. Just do it at your own free reign, kind of whenever you want to. Farming, but I'm going to be doing as much as I can in between the videos now, because it is going to take such a long time. It's 8 to 10 hours on the stairs, honestly. It's luck. Obviously it's luck, it's RNG, so you might get super lucky and find little chunks of them, little pockets of them. I do find what I did start doing and will start doing now that we will have a certain coiled sword after this video, is I'll jump, say I'll get a Proof of Concord kept, I'll get that, then I'll move to Catacombs, I'll get a Vertebra Shackle, and then I'll move and get a Human Dreg, and then I'll cycle around just to sort of break up the monotony and kind of shake up the area a bit and hope that the spawns reset almost. I don't know, it's kind of a luck thing almost, I don't know, but that's how I'll be doing it. So crystal lizards, there's a couple of them here. Titanite scales if you need them, if you don't bother. Yeah, shoot the first one to get his attention, you don't want both of them at the same time, obviously. And then we're off to run towards the boss, pretty much. Right, moving on. Another thing you can do, I suppose, when it comes to the farming, is use Rosaria's Covenant. So if you go back to her, you can respec your stats there. Now, obviously, you can do that whenever you like. Now, it takes Pale Tongs to do it. I think it's 5 a time, something like that. You feel free to do that if you want. You're just going to need to farm a bunch more Pale Tongs as well. They are fairly easy to farm when it comes to farmable things. This is a yeah. So respec, put all your stats in luck, should I say? Or not all of them, but balance it more in luck. Do 40 or 50 luck, something like that, and maybe you'll have more luck again. Like they obviously luck. Again, it's just a numbers game. Honestly, you could go to all those extremes, and I still found the percentage of it's marginal. It really is. Honestly, it's just the time you have to do it. You might get one more an hour. Like, okay, I don't know. It's a luck thing, obviously. You might not get any. You might get some. You might have all this luck in the world and still not get any. It's just, you just have to put up with it and do it. Put a podcast on, whatever, and yeah, grind it out. So yeah, this NPC, if you obviously, you probably will be, if you're embered, because we've just done a boss, so you probably will be, is a pain, because she does sorceries and she's really good, like there, at parrying as well. So she can be a right pain. Is she going to heal again? No, what's she dropping then? I don't think she has any left. That was the problem. So do watch out for... You don't actually get anything. That's the annoying thing as well. So I've just burnt through all my Estus flasks fighting her, messing around. When I just should have... It's not that you can run past, she'll follow you as well. And we need to potentially make a backup save. So I'm actually going to run back, quickly run back, sit at the bonfire, get my Estus back. Because this fight coming up, you can take damage quite a lot quite quickly. So you're going to want quite a few Estus flasks on you. We will be seeing her again, that NPC, unfortunately, with 2 others at exactly the same time. She won't be invading us, she'll be the proper NPC version of it. But there's a way of splitting them up, thankfully. But yeah, she'll be back. So I'm just going to sit. I'll need to do the Grave Ward, and there's one ahead of you as you run forward. But you can ignore the other one. There we go. My twin blades are superior, apparently. So watch out for the other one. Make sure it doesn't follow you, but you should be okay. And yeah, you know where we are. We've done this right at the start. And it's exactly the same at this point. It's got a bunch of those kind of... I don't even know what these are. Undead. Hollows. Hollows, I suppose they are. Just look out for them. They're everywhere, as you can see. Come on, come closer. Why stop backing away? There's going to be one down here. So this is the where we had to do that awkward jump right at the start, so we're dropping down. Oh, another one here. Hidden Blessing, that fully... what's the word I'm thinking of? Rejuvenate is not the word I'm thinking of, but is the only one that's coming to mind. Fully fills up your blue bar. Let's go with that. He jumps in front. That enemy then just did a casual jump into line then in front of me to get killed. Yeah, so yeah, just kill these, drop down. You don't need to go and do the other area. There's nothing else to find. And then because we fought him early on right at the start and we killed him early on, the master is here, the sword master is here, and you're going to want him for this fight. So do a backup save. I'm just going to quickly do one for the sake of recording, in case anything goes wrong. And yeah, get the sword master. This is an occasion where you do want the focus taken off you. So bring him in. And go into boss mode. So Carthus Beacon. Sword. And you're going to want to get as much damage as possible as he's getting up. Get that started. So you're going to think, oh, it's Gundyr. Yeah, this guy is easy, right? We've done him before. He was the first boss. Yeah, and I actually love the game for this, for doing this. He is not easy. He doesn't transform, but he is really, really aggressive. He's got kicks, he does swinging, he's jumping all over the place, his reach is insane. He's if you run alone against it, like he does that attack as well, which I got caught in, unfortunately. He does not give you breathing room. Luckily I healed then as he did that. I thought the focus was being taken away, but he's straight on top of you. He does not mess around this time. He's got red eyes, obviously he's not. Come on, Lee, give me a moment. There, wow, okay. I mean, we did get a lot of damage in, and you're going to get quite a bit in it once he gets staggered like that as well. But you see those cool, the kicks he's doing. He is a maniac. I think this is revenge for the first time. It's just finding those windows. They're so slight, especially if it's one-on-one. The windows of opportunity. Oh no, the Swordmaster is down. But then also, so is Gundyr. So good luck with that one. Hopefully you get the more distraction than I did on that one. But again, it's just getting there. Attack. Dodge past his attacks. Get hit in. Dodge. Attack. Dodge. You know. Just watch out. He is really aggressive. You should be able to take a good whack from him and still be able to walk away once you have a decent health bar as well. So if you are struggling, go and farm for a bit. Get your health bar up. Get your damage up. Come back and fight him again. And yeah, sit at the bonfire, and then we'll move on to Firelink. Yes, we are going back to Firelink. So there aren't weak enemies here, like there were in the original Firelink. There aren't enemies within Firelink, just around it. But they are Black Knights, which are not Silver Knights. They are better than Silver Knights. They're exactly the same in sort of how they look. Even the armour looks kind of silvery in this moonlight. But yeah, take this one away from... There's going to be another one walking down the path to the left. Take him away. And it's similar to the Silver Knights. Honestly, you'll probably be used to fighting these kind of enemies at this point. Look for the backstab on the shield arm. Sort of the shoulder on the shield arm. It's weird, the backstabbing point, the hitbox on the Knights. You probably found that while doing the Silver Knights. Yeah, it's kind of on their shoulder as opposed... It's where the twist, because they're twisting all over the place. The hitbox moves around. And it's not their back. Or maybe the hitbox... No, I suppose the hitbox doesn't move. That's the point. It's on their shoulder. It's them that moves, but the hitbox sort of stays where it is. So there's two there at the beginning. Then you're going to walk around this way. You don't have to come this way. But there's the Chaos Blade up there if you want it. And there's going to be one sneaky one drops down the stairs from here. So yeah, you can see there it's kind of on the shoulder. It was easy enough, didn't drop anything. Usually they're dropping all sorts of armour and weapons, but none of them are dropping anything. Chaos Blade, the Sword Master, obviously. That's what he's using. Or a different version. No, he's using the Uchigatana, isn't he? Chaos Blade. I don't think I've used the Chaos Blade, I'm not going to lie. And then walk around this way. There's going to be one more Black Knight. And we're going to drop down on him to get the little drop on him, literally. And finish him off with the backstab and the Flurry of L1s. And pick up the Hornet Ring. Which is if you're good at riposting, basically. And backstabbing and things like that. I think it's more of a riposte thing. It's not a ring I particularly use often, if ever. Obviously we're here for that ring and the Coiled Sword Fragment as well. So this is an infinite Homeward Bone, this thing here. That is going to make the Catacombs of Carthus farming a lot simpler, to be honest. If you have a PS5 or you're using the Xbox, the newest Xbox, whatever they decided to call it, the Series X, Series S, Series X, whichever, those two, if you've got quick loading times, a quick PC, whatever you're playing on, use that Coiled Sword now. So go into the Catacombs, go past the ball, kill the two enemies, and then... bone back to the bonfire. It's quicker than waiting for the ball to come back and mess around. If you've got the loading times, it's definitely quicker. So buy the ring there, that's the important thing. I also bought the armour. You don't need to buy the armour, but this is the one I'm going to stick with. It's Artorius' armour. I mean, come on. You've got to, right? The Wolf Knight. The only thing is that the legs look odd. These, I'm going to stick with these. I'm going to show you them, actually. The legs, I'm not sure. They're too thin. I think, personally. They look a bit weird around the ankles. It looks almost a bit too brittle. I suppose it all goes, but I'm actually going to stick with the current ones. Or I might find... I'm not particularly that bothered. But I'll stick with those ones. They're a bit chunkier. Yeah, you obviously don't need to do that, but I think it's a better looking armour set than the one we've got. And it's light again. It's quite light, so... I like to keep my armour light. And yeah, go back down here, and this is where the Miracle Lady would be sat, and get the Eyes of Firekeeper. So this is also very important that you get those. That is our second ending. So from now on, whenever you speak to the Firekeeper in our real Firelink Shrine, you're going to see an option to give her the Firekeeper Eyes. Do not do that yet. Don't do it. No, just don't do it. I'm not saying yet or anything. Just don't do it. We'll do it right at the end of the playthrough. So don't give it yet. I did say yet again. You know what I mean. Just don't do it until I tell you to do it. It doesn't wreck the ending, but just in case. Just, yeah. Anyway, the seed that I got from the giant tree, that is something you can use. You can come back and get them I believe the one here can occasionally give them as well. If you have an invader, if you get invaded, you can crack that, and it will make the enemies in the area attack the invader as well, which is quite cool. Yeah, I'm just doing normal leveling. I'm going to put everything in my my cache, my storage box, and then we're going to finish the video here at this point. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to do more farming. I'm going to be doing all of the 3 spots that we have now, or I have left. So the Silver Knights, the Dregs, and the Catacombs to get those shackles. So you will see in the next video I'll have a lot more souls. I may even level up in between the video, but I will let you know what I level up at the start of the next one. I don't want to be carrying too many souls around. Right, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.